I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people.
The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kelly. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, guys. If you're into true crime stories, news, and political commentary, I think you will very much enjoy the channel, and I would very much appreciate it if you would subscribe. If you are not new to the channel and you're a returning listener or subscriber, thank you as always for being a friend, and please go ahead and interact with the video if you can, guys. Give me a like or a comment. It really does help me out a lot, and I would very much appreciate that from each and every one of you who does it. So I wanted to jump on here today, guys, and just discuss with you guys and bring you all a case that is truly horrifying, and it is something that was in the news, obviously, over the weekend. I think in large part because it is such a horrifying case, and it's just truly, you know, blood-curdling the way that this has all transpired, and the way that somebody who calls themselves to be a man could have possibly done something like this. But even more so because it was actually Father's Day over the weekend, and I think it draws even more light to the fact of, you know, any person that can do this to their children is obviously a monster. But when you have a father who acted the way that this supposed man acted towards his 3 young defenseless sons and the mother of his child, it really draws you to the conclusion that there's just true evil in the world, and that some people have no humanity left in them. Some people really do not have human emotions that would, you know, cause them to act like a regular person, and that's scary. That's a very scary thought, to think that you might be living with somebody who is capable of something like this, and it's a cautionary tale, I think. So I want to get into the article, and then we'll get into a couple of the videos that came out over the weekend in regards to this case. We'll be following this one as well, and just be forewarned that this is a very horrific nature. These crimes that were committed against these 3 beautiful young boys were truly stuff of nightmares, and you're not going to see anything graphic, but it is going to be describing what this man has done to his family. So just be forewarned in that regard. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I'm going to pull up this article from CBS News, and we'll just jump right in. Okay, Ohio man executed 3 young sons as surviving daughter fled home screaming her father was killing everyone, authorities say. An Ohio man accused of fatally shooting his 3 young sons as his daughter fled admitted to planning the killings and lined them up before executing them with a rifle, prosecutors said on Friday. Chad Duerman, aka One Piece of Shit, who is 32 years old, is also accused of wounding the boy's mother at the family home, and he has been charged with aggravated murder. Claremont County Chief Prosecutor of Municipal Court David Gast said during Doberman's arraignment that Friday that one of the boys tried to flee into a nearby field, but Doberman hunted his son down and brought him back to their home before killing him. So I'm going to show you guys what the prosecutor actually said in court, because I think, like, me reading the words does not do justification to what this man said in open court. I think it was very powerful, so I don't want to, again, just spoil it with me just reading it from a news article. But his bond has been set at $20 million, and he's being held. His father's already came out and made a statement, you know, not justifying it, but basically saying that this is outside of the realm of possibilities for his son. He must have just snapped and this and that, you know, which I have sympathy for his family, his immediate family, his father and his mother, who I'm sure are utterly sickened by what their son has done to his own family. But I just don't see how any father who, in his right mind, could come out and advocate for his son at this time. I get it if you're always going to love your child no matter what they do, I guess, in a way. I'm still kind of at a loss, but I don't see the point of advocating for them in a public manner at this time. Like you go be behind the scenes, and go be with him there. But if that's what you want to do, but I think now is the time for the mother who has just lost her 3 young boys to be grieving, and it's not the time for the father of this monster to come out and say that he quote unquote snapped, which is what he said about his son. So. Deputies responded to the home in Monroe Township shortly before 4:30 p.m. Thursday after receiving a pair of 911 calls, one apparently from the mother who was screaming that her babies had been shot, and another from a passing motorist who said that a girl was running down the street saying that her father was killing people. The deputies found 3 boys ages 3, 4, and 7 outside of the home with gunshot wounds and tried to save their lives, but the children died at the scene. Good Lord. They held these children knowing there was nothing that they could do. How do you unsee that sort of abomination? So the boys' names have not yet been released, but since this article was written, they since obviously have released photographs, and I believe the mother's name was released, and I believe the name of the children. I'm not going to speak on that right now because I don't know if they want attention drawn to them. I know that if I was the mother of those children, I would want my privacy at this point. So the sheriff's office said that the 34-year-old mother, who was not identified at the time, was outside the home and had suffered a gunshot wound to the hand. She was transported to a hospital with injuries that did not appear to be life-threatening. So officials have not yet released a motive behind the shootings. Neighbors in Monroe Township, which is about 75 miles west of Columbus, reported hearing several shots fired in what they said is usually a quiet, calm neighborhood. How? It's 75 miles away? Good Lord. Okay, so now, guys, we're going to get into the video, the body cam footage of the police officers arriving onto scene. Again, this is somewhat hard to watch. Nothing graphic will be shown, but just forewarning you, it is emotional, obviously, but let's get into this with that being said.
I got it. I want to get right now.
Show us your fucking hands now! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up now! Stand up! Stand.
So you can see him. He's sitting here on the porch with his hands slightly raised. The rifle that he just used to murder his entire family, his children, is sitting right beside him. And this, obviously, the censored black box that you see off to the side, I'm sure is one, if not all, of the children that he has just taken the lives of so callously, and is now sitting calmly on the porch as if nothing has happened. I mean, it's truly unfathomable.
Get the fuck up!
EMS is safe and air crews can go ahead and fly whenever any units can advise.
Get your hands up here. Let's go for 21. It's in there.
They got to confirm that there's people in the first aid, and that's the shooter who's not complying. They need to take care of the victims. They have to show them the shootout.
Man, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm completely sober.
63, we're 21. Get the EMS over here.
Well, I do drugs, but I don't do drugs now. I'm sober. I'm not trying to fight you. Yalin,
63.
get your butt inside. Yalin, get your butt inside.
We on primary?
Now.
29, we got 3 kids down.
3 kids down, 63 up.
Yalin.
63, we're 21.
Knock
Have
it off.
EMS respond over here.
You're clear, they're being advised.
My God, like, just imagine being the police officers in this moment, having to see this scene unfold and right in front of you. The mother is in hysteria because, obviously, of what just happened. There are 3 young babies laying before you on the grass with gunshot wounds to their small bodies. And this subhuman pile of garbage is completely calm and callous, as if nothing just happened. No emotions visibly displayed on this man. And that is probably the most haunting and the most chilling part of the whole thing, is the reaction from this loser who shouldn't even be called a father, because that's never what he was. A father is somebody who protects the life of his children. Father is somebody who is a strong role model, a man who cares for his family, who shelters his family, who protects his family. And this lowlife did none of those, at the very least, and went even a step further and took the lives of the ones that he was supposed to be protecting.
Robert 34, just started mass response.
63, do you want them to respond to the Laurel Lindale address? Where exactly do you need them?
We're right in the front yard.
You took my life from me! My life!
What are you doing, man?
Hey, are you copying all this?
Can I roll over? I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt
really?
nobody.
You got anything on you?
No, I ain't got nothing, man. Phone, that's it.
You're not gonna hurt him.
I ain't mad. I
Alright.
ain't nothing. Just make sure that dog don't come out. I don't think he'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him and pet him. He won't bite you.
Is this kind of like, it's gotta be drugs? Because what do you mean you're not gonna hurt him? You're handcuffed, sir, and you are about this close to getting your ass beat. If I was that police officer, I mean, what a disgusting thing. He's got to be high on drugs, because I have no other explanation as to why he would be acting in the manner that he's acting. It's just, it's beyond me.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable.
I'm gonna get you here in a second.
You're
You can do whatever you want.
uncomfortable. Oh, is that right? You're uncomfortable, but your children are dead. Okay. Yeah, you could be a little bit more uncomfortable. Rough him up a little, maybe.
Here. You the only one else
Bang his
inside the
head
house?
against the side of that thing.
You the only one else inside the house? Sit down right here.
My daughter, she ran over to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in the cage.
Yeah, in the cage.
This is Will.
Yeah, rough him up.
This is Will. This is Will.
They're all being advised to come next to medical medics. There's also air crews flying, but they need an LV and then a copy.
Can you get the wallet out of my back pocket?
Shut up, dude.
21.
You had the right to remain silent. Fucking music.
Literally, shut your ass up. Don't you speak another word, you little dirtbag. Fucking low-life garbage. Coward.
And I knew where.
Only a coward would do this.
The firehouse is advising them that the male shot the entire family.
29-37.
You're clear.
So that's them again arriving on scene. This is just another body cam from a different police officer. So it's the same footage, but I mean, it's unbelievable. The attitude of sheer just like, I don't, it's like carefree, like ignorance is bliss type of attitude present. Like I'm almost speechless. I have no words for the fact that somebody could do this. And I don't care like how high you are on drugs. I don't care how out of your mind you are. I don't care how mentally ill you are. How do you do something like this and have no feelings about it? Have no reaction to it? Especially when other people arrive on scene and obviously are having, you know, more of a reaction than you are. It's not enough for the mother of your children, the person that you've just spent, you know, the oldest was 7, I believe they said, at least the last 8 years of your life with is heartbroken and destroyed over the fact of what you've just done. Then strangers, police officers arrive on scene and are horrified by your crimes, and you have zero reaction. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, there's no words for someone like this. He is disgusting. And I hope he gets what's coming to him in jail, because it's coming. And I just couldn't think of anybody more deserving So now we're going to get into the courtroom video of the prosecutor who is, I believe it's the bond hearing. So, and this man literally, I mean, he went off on him the way that he deserved to be gone off on, and he basically said the words that we were all thinking and put it so pointedly into a speech for the judge that I wanted to replay it here for you guys. So.
This is Chad Dorman, 2023 CRA 1975. This matter is before the court today for purposes of bond hearing. Mr. Callum, you were here on behalf of Mr. Dorman, Mr. DeCalvi, Mr. Gadd.
That a bond of $75,000 with order conditions would be appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeCalvi.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to let Mr. Gast handle the bond for on our behalf. Thank you.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Judge, we've got law enforcement with us here today. Our office has been involved. Lots of people in our office have been involved with law enforcement throughout yesterday afternoon and evening, all the way through this morning. And the facts I have for you at this point are as follows. The trauma that this man has inflicted on his family, the community, law enforcement, first responders, and all of the rest of us who have any idea what's going on here is unspeakable. There's been a full admission in this case, Judge. The case is still new. We're still discovering facts. Just incomprehensible cruelty. The father that stands before you lined up his 3 young boys, and he executed them in his own home with a rifle. They were ages 3, 4, and 7, Judge. In an act of desperation to save her children, the mother at some point grabbed the gun that father was able to flee into a field near the home. And again, we know from his admission, father hunted that boy down, drug him back to the property, and executed him in front of witnesses. The mother was shot through the hand in her attempt to protect her children. To just begin to imagine their fear. This was the man that every day they woke up looking to for protection, love, guidance in all things. The man they trust more than any other person on earth. The person they rely upon to keep them safe from harm. He was their world, he was their guardian, and he executed them in cold blood. We know that from his admission. One of the most monstrous, craven, cowardly acts that will ever be our misfortune to see. To make things even more disturbing, Judge, this was no haphazard act. Again, by his own admission, he planned the act on a whim. He's confessed to what I believe is the worst crime, at least I hope, that I'll see in my lifetime.
So if he planned what he was going to do, if he planned those crimes, then that means that no, it wasn't, then it couldn't have been just drugs. It couldn't have just been him snapping, as his father tried to later come out with a statement and say, which, again, I'm not blaming his father. It's like a horrible situation we put in, but again, I feel like he could have saved his statement for, a private, try to make yourself feel better, whatever it is that you're trying to do with that, you could have saved it. So the planning of the crime indicates to me that this man is a monster. He is a soulless, evil being, demonic in nature, who set out to kill his 3 young boys. For what reason? I guess we still don't know. I mean, the fact that he admitted to planning this indicates that there should have also been some sort of motive. Whether or not or when we might ever learn what that motive is still to be determined. But I don't understand why you're crying now, you utter garbage human. You need to really save all of that for whenever your butthole is getting stretched out in prison, okay? Because that's what's to come for you, sir.
I hope it's the worst fact pattern that ever comes before this court. Judge, it's important for the court to know, and Monroe Township Fire and EMS and other first responders bravely respond to the scene where they don't know what's going on. They did not know what they're facing, and they come into a scene that no one can ever be prepared for. No law enforcement training, no training of any kind prepares you for this. It's easy to forget that these are men and women with families, children, feelings, emotions. They're not some automaton performing a delegated function. They're people. 10-year-old children. They held these boys in their arms, knowing there was nothing they could do to save them. How long do those scars last? What day do you wake up from that and did he have access to a weapon? Yes, obviously he did. The weight of the evidence against the defendant at this point, Judge, we stand here with a full admission of the defendant. That also goes to the confirmation of the defendant's identity, and witnesses on scene did see at least part of what happened. Next, the court is to consider the likelihood this person would return to court if a bond were issued. Again, this is the most heinous crime with the most severe penalty under the law that we presented to the grand jury. That alone would be a major factor in discouraging a person from availing themselves to this court or any other. And the thought to flee and the likelihood of flight is great in the state's opinion. The danger he poses to the community is a factor that this court can consider, and I think with the facts in front of you, Judge, we can't name a person that poses a greater threat to the community. As his prior record goes, Judge, it is fairly minimal. He was charged with domestic violence in 2010. He is not, to my knowledge, on probation community control. Judge, the facts of this case are hopefully like no other we will ever see. When this case gets indicted in the Court of Common Pleas, I am certain that a no bond hearing will be held, and I would hope that would be granted. But at this point, at this juncture, we're going to ask this court to issue a bond we've never asked for before. I'm going to ask for a bond of $20 million. I hope I never need to request such a bond again.
Thank you. Date for preliminary hearing?
The date for the preliminary hearing, Judge, is 6/26.
No objection, Your Honor. The preliminary hearing will be set for June 26th at 1 p.m. At this point in time, bond is going to be set in the amount of $20 million cash or surety. Anything else at this time, Mr. Gast?
No, Judge.
Mr. Dale? Mr. Kalm, anything further?
Nothing at this time.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Go rot in hell, you piece of human filth. I mean, the most egregious thing that any person could ever commit. It's truly mind-blowing that somebody would choose to end the lives of their 3 small children and to terrorize their family in such a way. I mean, these are the types of crimes that really make you question humanity. I mean, they really lead you to wonder, where is, where is a person's mind frame? How, what has to happen to a person to do what this man did to his family? It's beyond most of our comprehensions, but it seems to be never too far from what we see in our everyday lives, living here on this planet, and to see once again what people are capable of. These 3 small, young babies will never get to grow up, will never get to understand what their life meant, will never get to reach their full potential or their purpose in life. And it was all stolen away from them by the person who, again, was supposed to protect them from everything. Who was supposed to be their guardian, their mentor, their leader in life. And he stole that away from them. It's despicable, truly. So, did you guys heard about this case? Like, what do y'all think about it? I mean, there's really not much to say, honestly. So I'll go ahead and just wrap it up there. But I would love to know your guys' thoughts on everything. I'll be, again, following up with this case as it progresses. And whenever there's any updates, I'll let y'all know. But I think this is one of the most despicable things. I mean, this just goes back to a video that I did not too long ago about the epidemic. Seems like a family violence and parents, you know, specifically that video was about mothers killing their families or their kids, but parents in general who can take out every single one of their children. It's beyond insane. It's just demonic. Again, I will say that clearly it is demonic. There's no other word for it. It's evil, and I just reject that this is the people in general are severely deprived of something more meaningful in their lives. So, you guys let me know what y'all think. Like the video if y'all liked it, please, and give me a comment and let me know. And just, if anything, just leave a little praying emoji in the comments. Pray for these 3 young boys. And yeah, until next time, guys. Y'all please stay safe and, you know, look after one another. Your family is the most important thing in your life. It is so important that we always remember that. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.
I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people.
The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.